What's going on, guys? Welcome back to 1-0. Thank you for tuning in. I'm back for another video. Got a Game Week 2 Premier League predictions, couple of interesting batches here. Tune in, like, subscribe if you're new. It all helps. Comment who you think's got to win these batches, and we'll get straight into it. First game in, we're not mucking around. Everton, West Brom. Everton looking good last week. James Rodriguez, Alan Doucouré, all in the same midfield. How you doing? West Brom against... look, interesting. They played against Leicester last week. A little bit here and there. First half, decent. Second half, not so decent. I'm expecting an Everton 2-0 win. I think Everton 2-0, possibly a Hummers goal on his second game. I think Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison, a good game for them to continue form. And yeah, I'm going 2-0 Everton. Next up, Leeds Fulham, the battle of the newly promoted teams. Leeds obviously exciting the world last week, against Liverpool. Fulham, not so much. Scotty Parker, aka James Bond, going to Leeds. Battle of two different coaches, two different playing styles. However, I do think Leeds might walk away with a 3-1 win. I think they will concede quite a few goals this season, Leeds, but also got to score. I think 3-1. Hopefully we get to see a little bit more Rodrigo. Hopefully don't look like an absolute mug after this video also. Lol. Following, my boys, Manchester United's first game of the season against Crystal Palace. Now, if you asked me before Palace played, I think I would have been a lot more confident. I still am confident, but I think Palace didn't look too bad, against Southampton, who people are tipping to do semi-decent this season. Wilfred Zaha looked good. I mentioned in the review of the last week that was out. Go check that if you missed it. That the youngster Eze looks like a good player coming on. But I do think first game at Old Trafford, Man United should have no problems here. Unfortunately, Sancho isn't yet to play this game. And I'll tell you what, if Man United don't do some business this transfer window, then could possibly expect a Manchester United rant video. Because already I can feel it inside me, and I'm fuming. I'm fuming, boys. I'm fuming. But I'm going to go 2-0 win. I'm calling a Bruno goal. Love to see Donny play. I'm keen. Come on, son. Come on. Go follow the Twitter. Also, 1-0. It's in the bio. I've got to be a lot more active on Twitter. A couple of game updates. I like to think I'm funny. My mum calls me funny. So if you do want to see some funny tweets even, go chuck the Twitter a follow. Next up, Arsenal West Ham. Aubameyang signing the ting, as they say. Some weird signed the ting. What do they think they are, mate? West Ham look like they're in struggle town. Not lazy town, struggle town. And I'm predicting an easy Arsenal win here too. I'm expecting an Aubameyang brace even. I think Arsenal 2-0 to start the season. I'm going to go Arsenal 2-0. Oh, I feel like I said 2-0 for every game. Oh, defensively, they look solid. West Ham look like shambles. You know what? I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal. Another 3-0 game. Following Southampton, Tottenham. Now, this one is interesting because in the grand scheme of things, it's semi-decent. Tottenham are out of nowhere most likely going to sign Reguilon, who was linked to Man United. And it looks like Gareth Bale is actually pretty much nearly done. I saw before 600,000 a week, making him the highest paid player in the Premier League currently. And I mean, obviously not going to play this game, but I think people were aware that after last week's performance against Everton, Tottenham could be in a bit of a shambles. A win against Southampton, I don't think will be as easy as what most expect, but I don't see them losing this game. But I also don't see Southampton losing this game. I'm going to go 1-1 draw. I think Harry Kane will get off the mark. Tottenham's an interesting one. Leave it in the comments if you think Bale and Reguilon will get Tottenham into the top 5. I think top 4 is a bit of a stretch. I think there's 4 or 5 better teams better than them this season. I think what about top 5? Leave it in the comments. Will Bale and Reguilon get them into the top 5? Next up, we've got Newcastle versus Brighton. And I've just remembered, Brighton Watch, if you're old, to the channel. Brighton Watch, it's no longer for this season. Instead, we've got Leeds Lookout. And you know who you are, you're watching it. Dimmy's been on the podcast before. He gave me the name. So it's a Leeds Lookout. I shouldn't have remembered for the Leeds Fulham game. But Leeds Lookout is the 1-0 team of the week. All right? So Leeds Lookout. We've got to be on it. We've got to look out for Bielsa. We've got to look out for Bamford. We've got to look out for Rodrigo. Look out for Ailing. Look out for these shaved sides and a man bun, which everyone in Leeds has. So, my bad. I apologise. I shouldn't have said at the start. I'm new to this. I don't know what I'm doing. I've got cool lights now. I think I'm true Geordie. But Newcastle, Brighton. Newcastle looking good. I'm actually excited to see Newcastle. I mean, Jimi Hendrix is a baller in the midfield. Callum Wilson looked good last week. Again, they could possibly start the season 2-0, which is, I think you ask Newcastle fans, you go, yippee, yippee, doo-dah day. How's your mama? I'm going to go Newcastle 2-1 win over Brighton. Newcastle's at home, St. James Park or Stadium. I don't know, I've never been. But yeah, I'm going to go Newcastle dub, which leads us on to a big batch, huge batch. Chelsea versus Liverpool. Now, unfortunately, I would have loved to have a podcast with the other boys from school if we could, because obviously 2 Chelsea fans and Dimmy who just collates for like 100 Liverpool fans. But it's Chelsea Liverpool, Liverpool pretty much got to sign Thiago, and I sent to the group chat last night. I said Liverpool's won the league. Thanks for coming. I think the signing of Thiago, I do think they have to be a little bit aware though. I think it's a short-term solution. It's probably 3 seasons max, I reckon, because he's like 29, 28, near the end of his, not the end of his career, but he's not a 22-year-old. But again, I think arguably probably the best midfielder currently in the world. Won Bayern Munich the Champions League. And to put him in that Liverpool team, it's scary. But he's not playing against Chelsea. I'm going to go and say a 2-2 draw for this match. I think big test for Frank Lampard. I think all eyes will be on the likes of Havertz, who got roasted a little bit for last week's performance. The likes of Werner, who said he didn't really like playing against the big Brighton defenders. So imagine the scenes when he comes up against someone like Virgil van Dijk. I don't know if I really want my striker coming out and saying that. I've never played against defenders like Lewis Dunk. Bit sus. But I'm going to go 2-2 draw. I think there'll be goals. I think Liverpool will be much better than last week. They didn't play bad last week, but I think Liverpool deep down are I don't think they're liking the fact that they're being a little bit disrespected this season. A lot of people predicted them to come third, but I'm going to go 2-2 draw. 2-2 draw, purely for the fact that it's at Stamford Bridge. I know there's no fans, but it's still, the stadium's blue. It's not red. But I'm going to go 2-2 draw. Leave it in the comments. That's game of the week, arguably. Takes us next to Leicester City versus Burnley. Leicester, again, looked good-ish. 2 Jamie Vardy penalty goals. Burnley obviously haven't played yet. I reckon this is going to be the 1-0 game of the week. 1-0 Leicester City. Burnley, we know them for a defensive team. How much longer can that style of football keep them up or even keep them in the mid-table? Not too sure. But I think Leicester, 1-0 win, possibly another Jamie Vardy goal. I think it should be me gusta. Next, Aston Villa. Aston Villa versus Sheffield. Bit of a dead game. I mean, Villa also got to play their first game of the season. They did beat United in the friendly last week, but we had Oddie in up front, so thanks for coming. I do think, it's a tough one. It is a tough one because I don't know if Sheffield rumoured to get Ryan Brewster from Liverpool for 20 mil, 24 mil, which would be an absolute bargain of a steal. I think this one could end up being a 1-1, even a 0-0, even a 1-0, a 2-0. Come on, Costa. I'm going to go 1-0 Villa. I think, 1-1. Take that back. 1-1. Okay? It's 1-1. 1-1. 1-1 Aston Villa versus Sheffield. Jack Grealish goal. Thank you. Jack, yeah, I like that. Jack Grealish on a 5-year contract. Pretty much signed his career away. Would I have done it? No. Do I play for Aston Villa? No. Final match of the week. Let me know so far what your predictions are like. If you're watching this after the games, how many have I got right? I don't know. Wolves versus Man City, and this was an interesting one. I did just put Raheem Sterling in my fantasy. I think City players are flying under the radar. A lot of people have got them finishing quite high up, even winning the title this season. But I think it could be a little bit of a different City we see. Yeah, they're bringing in will Arke start, mate? They're like Arke and Laporte next to each other in centre back. Will Fernand Torres start? I don't think so, but off the bench could be alright. Whereas Wolves, good win last week, comfortable win. I'm gonna say 2-1 City. City's got a very not as much of a favourable run to start the season. However, their last 9, 10 games, I think that's when we could start to see the season start to expand a little bit because they've got a lot of easy wins. So if they can start getting wins like this, which is a little bit 60-40 City's favour, then I think could be huge for City's title runs. Wraps us up for the game week 2 predictions. Let me know if you enjoyed this kind of videos. I might continue them next week. Obviously, can't record a podcast. I'm recording a very special and exciting interview tonight with someone. So hopefully, while you're watching this, could be interviewing right now. I'll give you a brief hint. Don't forget to hashtag it. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, enjoy. Merry Christmas. I'm Costa. This is 1-0. And remember, always 1-0. Yes.